Hello again team, it's Jess or JashiiCorrin and welcome back for another video. Today we are setting up for December in the journal that we gave away earlier this year. This month we're going with a minimal presents or gifts theme, a super easy setup for anyone, regardless of artistic ability. As always, all of the equipment I used in this setup is linked in the description box below, but without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with the cover page, we're first adding our page decoration, and as mentioned, we are keeping it super minimal. So I've drawn out a mini calendar and enclosed it in a simple doodle of a present style box, putting this just a little bit lower than the center of the page. As I've mentioned in previous videos for our giveaway journal, for all the setups in this one, I essentially tried to work with just a black pen, so that our giveaway winner could add their own color, if they chose to, using their own equipment. This just meant that there wouldn't be any discrepancies between whatever colours I would pick with the materials that I have versus what they could then use with the materials they have. While this was the main reason, it also means that they get to pick their own colour palette. For this setup, I wanted to continue with the use of craft paper that we included in September's pages, and one of my favourite ways to use craft paper in my journal is to print headers onto paper bags, then rip them out and stick them into the journal. I do have a separate video on my process for making printed headers, but I find it to be a super easy way to use lettering styles that maybe aren't the easiest to draw or recreate yourself. For this December setup, I went with a kind of sparkly winter wonderland type font, but previously I've used this technique with Celtic fonts, the Disney font, the Harry Potter font, and more. In terms of timing for this page though, from first touch of the pen to final erasings, the cover page took about 9.5 minutes, but this doesn't include any penciling in time or the time taken to print the December header. With that cover page done though, we're now flipping over and it's on to the monthly log. As you can see, I've already stuck in some of the decorative craft paper, including the heading that's in the same font that we used on the cover page. I've again gone with a calendar layout for this monthly spread, where each of the boxes are 6 squares across by 6 squares down. I know that I prefer to have calendar boxes that don't sit in the crease of the notebook, but what do you guys prefer? I know in the style that I'm using here, the calendar boxes aren't as big as they would be if I did go over the center line, but I personally prefer not having to try and write in the crease. That, and sometimes, in some journals, the dot grid from one page won't line up with the one across from it, which could make it a little bit difficult when it comes to drawing out a calendar grid that looks uniform. What do you guys reckon though? Does the idea of writing in the crease bother you too? For the decoration on this spread, I've drawn in more of our present or gift boxes, both around the initials for the letters of the days of the week, and as decoration to fill in the otherwise blank space at the bottom. On the topic of presents or gifts, if you hadn't already seen it, I do also have a holiday gift guide video for bullet journaling related gifts, which is linked in the description box below and totally worth checking out if you are either stumped on what to get someone else or looking for ideas to add to your own wish list. One of the things that I actually forgot to mention in that video but would make a really awesome gift idea was the Piper's Art sketchbook bundle from Archer and Olive. I am so in love with this sketchbook and I'm really excited because I think I'm gonna do some kind of like doodle challenge next year to help me bone up on my drawing skills. If you want to make sure that you don't miss out on that challenge, be sure to head over to Facebook and join the JashiiCorrin community group. It's in that group that I do things like polls for our next giveaway journal. Every so often we do challenges, and that's what I'm planning on doing next year with the doodling. And possibly a lettering challenge, and maybe also some journaling prompts. I haven't quite sorted it out yet, but I know that good things are coming. And of course, if you want to get yourself a Piper's Art sketchbook like I have, absolutely gorgeous, would make a fabulous gift. That one is linked in the description box below. If you are making any purchases at Archer and Olive for the holiday season, or beyond, be sure to use my code JashiiCorrin10 for 10% off your order as well. Not only is it a great way to save yourself some money, but also it's a really nice way to support my channel too. After roughly 17 minutes though, the monthly log was finished and it was over the page and onto the habit tracker. For the habit trackers in this journal, I've tried to go with a different style each month, and although I've used the mini calendar style before in this journal, so in August doing mini calendars where all of the numbers were written out, and another version in October where we just had an outline of the mini calendar, For December, I have each of those mini calendars enclosed in a box that's made to represent another present. On this one, I've just put in little dots to represent the days that aren't actually in the month, and left blank spaces for any of the days that are in the month. These blank spaces can then either be ticked off or crossed off or coloured in to represent when habits were done or not done. As you can see, on this one we have space for 12 habits. Also, if you are looking to change up the style of the habit tracker you're using, I do have a separate video on habit tracker styles that might be useful. In terms of timing though, this habit tracker took about 11 minutes. Up next we have the mood tracker, and for this one I continued with those boxes as presents ideas, and I have 31 boxes drawn out in different sizes, one for each day of the month. Each of the boxes are numbered 1 through 31, and for some of them I add patterns like stripes, spots or wavy lines, just to make them look a little bit more like they have wrapping paper on them. Because I didn't care too much about the size of individual boxes, it made fitting all of these together a fair bit easier. Effectively, the only real requirement was that there were exactly 31, and they were 1 square away from any neighbouring boxes, just so that then when they're on the page all together, they look like they're evenly spread out. As per the other mood trackers in this journal, we have a bar at the bottom of the page set up for a colour scale that can be used to represent the different moods. I haven't split this one up into sections or selected any colours, so that the winner could select that for themselves. From first touch of the pen to final erasings though, the mood tracker came in at about 20 minutes. Question of the day for you, what is your theme for the month coming? My Plan With Me video for my personal December setup is coming out this weekend, so if you hadn't already, make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss that one. In the meantime though, I'd love to hear about what themes you've got planned for the month ahead. For the final flip through though, we have our minimal cover page, the calendar style monthly log with present decorations, the mini calendar habit tracker, and the present boxes mood tracker. As always team, thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, please do make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more on planning, productivity, and personal development. Until next time, bye!